So, Control. Marz, why did you choose Control to review? Hasn't the game been out for like a year? Yes. Yes, it has. Yeah, it's about a year ago that I actually played it on stream. But something I didn't get to do was the DLCs. And boy, am I excited about them. Right, so this initial review is actually going to be about the main game, about the original game. I'm looking forward to jumping into Twitch, which, by the way, I stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Links in the description below. And I'm looking forward to actually streaming the DLCs. Look, only one of them are out right now, but the other one, we're not too far off. So I thought it's time to actually give my opinions on the original game before I even play the DLCs. Oof, I'm looking forward to this one. So, Control is currently available on multiple platforms, namely PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, and planned for release on the next-gen consoles too. Now, before I get into this game, I have to note that I tend to shy away from, for want of a better word, scary games.
I have a set of 5 keys.
I found her. That is not cool. That is not cool. That is not cool. That is not cool. And she is looking all creepy like at me.
At first glance, one would think that Control is a game I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. But surprisingly, not only did I play this whole game, I looked forward to getting my hands on this title months before its initial release. The game starts you off in what seems like a standard office environment, walking down pathways of bland cubicles covered with paperwork, like you've just jumped into some big corporate's head office, ready to get into the daily grind. But something is amiss here, and while initially you can't quite describe what it is, you know it to be true. And that is it. That's the general feeling you have when playing this game. Control does such a great job of making you feel the game. There are times you can't quite put your finger on why things feel so out of place, but that is their intention right from the get-go. One of the most rewarding aspects of the game has to be the combat. There is a multitude of supernatural powers you can unlock as you progress through the story, and in some cases you can choose to unlock one before going on to another. I won't go through all of them, as I feel some may even be in the spoiler territory, but being able to lift up anything nearby, even corpses, and flinging them at your enemies has a satisfying feel to it. The same applies to making shields for yourself. Being able to grab rubble or debris nearby to form a shield in front of you is just as satisfying. These powers all use a certain amount of energy as well that requires a short period of downtime to recharge. Control uses a point system to upgrade each of these powers that can vary from less energy usage to higher damage. A system I found very rewarding. The game starts you off with what seems to be a standard pistol of sorts, known as the service weapon. Just a heads up, it is anything but standard. Imagine playing one of your favorite shooter games, but the gun actually changes shape and form to match one of your preferred weapons. Yeah, you heard me correctly. This pistol can be a revolver, a sniper, a shotgun, a minigun, or even a rocket launcher. The game also has an upgrade system for the service weapon by using crafting materials and inserting mods. While I found them useful to add and made a big difference in playstyle, I often ended up sticking with the same type of mods for the majority of my playthrough. Another great aspect I love about this gun is its ammo style. Instead of using the traditional limited ammo, as so many games tend to do, Control once again does what it feels is right for its playstyle. The supernatural gun uses a rechargeable over time energy style that differs based on the mode the gun is currently in. For instance, you would use less energy with the standard pistol mode than if you had to try snipe someone. With an energy bar for powers and an energy bar for guns, it really does take some weaving and great control of your abilities and weapons to get through this satisfying combat. What really plays well into the combat feel is the destructible environment. From the subtleness of papers flying around as you dash through the cubicles, to the destructive explosion and gunfire chipping away at the environment around as you scramble for cover. The game does a fantastic job at truly making the world feel usable. Even when creating a shield, you can see parts of the walls or flooring tearing from pillars piece by piece to form a protective barrier in front of you. The game story has you second guessing everything you think you know, even 5 minutes into the game. Is this character evil? Is she dreaming? What did I just see? Every time I thought I was getting closer to understanding this world, they would throw a curveball into the mix that disrupted my logical thoughts. But again, that's where the developers really made this game shine. Trying to figure out the game using normal logic or even basing it on previous game experiences was exactly what they didn't want you to do. They wanted you to feel and experience this world. Being intrigued and surprised constantly with some new concept or revelation was both satisfying and exciting at the same time. It truly plays on the psychological aspect, but not in a scary or horror kind of way. It's the kind of way when someone explains a situation that you previously saw as a good or evil, and the glass shatters, revealing that it's more of a gray area than you thought. Just simply walking into a room and watching a video on one of the monitors can have you both in stitches or shocked in awe, but more surprisingly is the amount of extra story one can find hidden in the extra notes and journals. Now we move on to the flaws and who this game is not for. The game has no ability to change its difficulty level. Don't get me wrong, for my own personal use case, this is exactly the way I prefer to play games, at the intended difficulty of the developer. But this can be a big deterrent for others. On the one hand, you will have long-time gamers wanting a more difficult challenge out of the box. To be fair, I do believe the difficulty does scale well. But on the other hand, some newer players may find this style of play quite challenging. While discussing new players, this game had a rough start with its initial map design. The in-game maps made it really hard to differentiate the sub-levels of a single map. You could not tell which part was higher or lower, and a lot of people got both confused and lost. I will say that they have vastly improved the map layout since then, giving a much clearer look. One major flaw of the game is that at times it became borderline repetitive. The story flows well, and they tend to give you something new just as things start to feel tedious. But where the repetition kicks in is with its variation of enemies. I can see why they chose not to add more variances. It would mess with the style and the story behind the game in its current form. But it is something to note when looking to play or buy this game. This next fault is kind of hard to explain without giving away any spoilers, but I will try my best. The game's ending feels underwhelming. And note the emphasis on feel again. For a game that has me feeling all its aspects and surprises along the way, the ending could do with more information. Remember, I'm trying hard here not to give any spoilers. So here are my straight up personal thoughts on the game. I loved it. Even if the ending wasn't anything I expected, I'm still very much looking forward to the DLCs and potential sequels of the title. The world is so open to possibilities and story, I want to absorb as much of it as I can, and truly try to unravel the mysteries the developers have done in this world building. My initial concerns with playing the game were borderline because of the scary ambience. I'm happy to say that the story and the combat truly push it past those feelings. The supernatural abilities make you feel powerful enough to hold your own, as long as you don't get too complacent. Right, so I hope you guys found this video enjoyable. If you did, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all those YouTube things that they tell you to do. If there's anything that you'd want to see a little bit different in my videos, or if there's a suggestion in terms of what game I should be reviewing, please let me know in the comments, guys. That's what they're there for. I love hearing your personal aspects. It's actually one of the reasons why I stream on Twitch. You can come and hit me up there. Come talk to me, give me ideas, give me your opinions. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Links are in the description below. You know where to find me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, see ya.
I need a picture of this with my phone. I'm gonna say, welcome back to the unicorn.
Where's Zeph? Someone call Zeph. What's happening? Ellemmy's gone to bed already.
Oh no! She would have liked that. Put your
Dude, you're
hood
gonna
on.
sweat. Guys,
Put your
guys,
hood on.
it's winter here.